The Milwaukee Brewers have made multiple moves ahead of this Arizona Diamondbacks series. We're going to be breaking it down, as well as going over the first game here, where we saw some real standout talent and a very surprising set of moves that have been made. We're going to bring it all down here in this video. Before we do jump into the entirety of this video, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to hit the sub button if you haven't already. We know that just over 98% of you guys watching right now have not done so. And we have a lot of Brewers news coming, especially with a very busy month soon coming to an end. But it is not over, folks. We have a lot more coming, and you won't want to miss it. I'm going to have it all right here for you guys. Let's get straight into it. I first want to touch on the moves that were made ahead of the game, ahead of everything else, and go over what the Brewers have done ahead of this series. Now, the roster moves made yesterday. Grant Anderson, and I will pull this up on the big screen so you can see there the little fine print. Grant Anderson placed on the 15-day IL, retroactive to August 24th, so 2 days ago at this point, with an right ankle tendonitis. Easton McGee recalled from AAA Nashville. Tobias Myers recalled from AAA Nashville, and that's what we're going to kind of jump into here now in a moment. And Chad Patrick optioned to AAA after his start here a couple days ago, and a successful start at that. But now heading into this game, of course, or into these upcoming games, Tobias Myers is one that a lot of people are absolutely loving over these past couple of days since this all came out. Easton McGee, not so much. We're going to kind of touch on that here as well in a moment. But Tobias Myers is a player who certainly has earned this right to come back to this team after having been in here earlier this season, ultimately going back down to AAA and having this season a very good season so far, 3.90 ERA in the MLB level. Now, that is only for six starts, 12 games as a whole, but over his career in the MLB, he's been a phenomenal pitcher with a 3.17 ERA. His stuff is looking good, and I'd even argue to say fantastic. And having this, kind of rotation that we've been able to see, the pitching staff that we've been able to see for this Brewers team, a lot of people going down to the IL, not just for a rest, but also making sure everybody's healthy for the postseason. We're seeing here Tobias Myers come in as a role that will hopefully be him at least seeing him be here for the remainder of the season. Now, of course, this is bearing any changes. There are still a lot of people in the IL, a lot of moves are going to be made, and we know that there's a lot of players on the IL right now that won't be back for quite some time. So having a guy like Tobias Myers, pitching as well as he is at this current time, back up into the big leagues is going to be a very good move. And I would argue this is more so of a tryout for the postseason for him, where he could be thrown in the bullpen as well with how good this bullpen has been, and also being the option to come into a starting role if needed over these next couple months, or these next couple weeks, I should say, heading into next month, where we're going to actually start to see quite a few teams narrow down as to what their plan is going to be for the postseason, especially where the Brewers are at this point in the year, how good they've been. They're making sure they have everything checked off, all the boxes checked. I think this is just another one that they're looking at in Tobias Myers, so I'm very excited to see what his role will be for these upcoming next few games. But I now want to jump into the last game that we saw yesterday. Before we jump into tonight's game, of course, against the Diamondbacks, Andruw Monestario has been one player that has really not had the deserved recognition so far. He's certainly got a lot of it, but I still think that is not enough as of this point, and especially jumping in for the injured Joey Ortiz, who is currently on the IL. Andruw Monestario has not missed a beat. Coming to the last game, of course, 2 for 4 with a home run and 1 strikeout, but a 8.5% wins, WPA, and with 2 RBIs. He's really been playing and really excelling in the spot that he is right now in that starting shortstop position. As I mentioned, with Joey Ortiz out, you needed a lot of players to step up, and especially when Joey Ortiz was playing as good as he was in the field, and as good as he currently is at the plate, it was going to be a tough replacement. But Andruw Monestario, a guy who everybody loves on this team, getting this recognition now, and even more deserved over his way, it's absolutely fantastic to see. And it's just another thing that, coming into this season, coming into the part we are now of this season, these are the guys that you're going to have to really not just rely on down the stretch, but these are the guys that are really going to propel you ahead of these teams who have all of these superstars. You have the depth on this team right now that you're seeing with so many injuries. Jackson Chourio being out, Joey Ortiz being out, so many pitchers being out. Coming into this lineup, you may think that, hey, from an outside view, this looks like it could be a very tough situation, but people have stepped up, and Andruw Monestario is just one of the names that I feel like, as of late, deserves the recognition that he's been getting. Now, I kind of want to touch on the rest of the roster here as well. Going over last game, very good game for the most part. Of course, you see Bryce Turang, William Contreras, Christian Yelich, pretty much everybody on the team getting a hit here, except Andrew Vaughn and Sal Frelick, who both have been playing exceptionally well as well. So we can't really blame them for a game of having a little bit of, struggling at the plate. But everybody on this team, I think this kind of goes back to what I was just saying about Andruw Monestario as well, is playing so much better than what people will think. You know, as us Brewers fans coming into these games, watching these games, seeing this roster, you know, we know we're going to see something special game in and game out. And I feel like that's something that a lot of teams, if not all teams in the MLB, are lacking. So we're very lucky to get to see this team play. And I mean, games like this, where even you see a win as we did as such last game, it's just, once again, another phenomenal opportunity to see this team really show their true colors and go up against teams that, you know, are good, are bad, you know, wherever they are. This team don't care how good the team they're playing against is. They're going for the win no matter what. And now, also the pitching here, I'll pull this one up back on the big screen. Brandon Woodruff, another phenomenal start, you know. 5 earned runs, not really complaining there. 8 Ks and 5.2 innings. That's really what we're, you know, anticipating to see. We know this team is good enough on offense to be able to go put up more runs than that, and the bullpen shut it out at the end of the game. Ashby 1.2, 5 Ks in those, you know, all of his outs, 5 Ks, phenomenal there. 1 hit as well. Nick Mears coming in just for 2 outs, but also seeing Uribe close this game out once again, being a phenomenal reliever. And the next closer for this team, it seems like, even though Trevor McGill was down for this game due to just a surge of other games. So once again, the bullpen showing out in this game here as well. And, you know, I think this game is just really going to come down to, this game and this series is really going to come down to, once again, having this team play their own game. The Diamondbacks did ship out a lot of players, but we know that they're not done yet. They still have a lot of players on that team that are very, very good, and they still have a very easy chance to win some games. But the Brewers know that. The Brewers know they have a tough challenge as well coming up here at the end of the month, and we're going to kind of break that down here just in a moment as well. But I wanted to pull up one more update from Jefferson Cuero from the Nashville Sound. Number 4 prospect for the Brewers is batting .382 with 8 extra base hits and 13 RBIs in the last 9 games. Now, he was a guy that I said would be a very interesting option for a call-up come later this season, come closer to the postseason. Have him here for that, and I think this is just another example as of why his last few games he's been very hot. And yes, it is the AAA level, but that does translate. .382 in those extra base hits in 9 games. That's a very good look for a guy who's auditioning to get to the MLB level, and I think this is just another reason that he will excel into that position quite easily over the next few weeks as we kind of get closer to the postseason. And I'll keep you updated regarding Jefferson Cuero and what is going on with him here as well. So if you haven't, be sure to hit the sub button if you're at this point in the video. But one final update as well. I wanted to kind of pull up this. Now, this is not updated regardless regarding the last few series. Of course, we are currently to the 26th of August there in the second game against the Diamondbacks. Now, this game and the next 2 against the Diamondbacks, then the Blue Jays for 3. It's going to be a very tough remainder of the month, regardless of what happens. You're going to need your arms ready to go, and I think that's why this bullpen, these pitching staff, have been so important for this team going forward. So let me know what you think about the game last night, as well as the one that we're heading into tonight. We're going to have a video either tonight or tomorrow, depending on what time the game ends. Of course, pretty late here for me on the East Coast with these games, but that's all I got. Let me know what you think about all the updates that we have here today, ladies and gentlemen. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. We're very close to 1K, and your sport's been absolutely incredible. I appreciate everybody watching these videos, but like I said, let me know what you think. That's all I got in this video, though. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button. I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.